On In Radio, Apple Podcasts, and however you listen, I'm James Cridland, the radio futurologist. This week, the Brits are switching off AM. Should we panic? This month will be another month of headlines about the end of radio, and this time it'll be the British you can blame. You'll be familiar with the end of radio. Almost all last year we heard about Norway, which has switched off FM broadcasting for almost all stations, replacing it with DAB+. This time, the British are doing their best to give the press an excuse for an unhelpful headline. The BBC are turning off 13 AM transmitters across England for their local radio stations. The commercial stations, by the way, aren't going anywhere. Here's one the BBC turned off earlier.
BBC Radio Bristol's 1548 medium wave signal is about to be switched off.
There's a lot of misconception about what's going on in Europe, so perhaps I might clear things up a little. The European radio landscape is the most multi-platform anywhere in the world. As an example, we could take BBC Radio Humberside, one of the stations that's due to lose its AM transmitter. It's a news and talkback station in the north of England, broadcasting to an area of 760,000 people and achieving a market share of 11%. And at the top of the hour, you'll hear this.
Across Northern Lincolnshire and East Yorkshire.
On digital radio, online and 95.9 FM.
This is BBC Radio Humberside.
Actually, BBC Radio Humberside is on 1485 AM as well as 95.9 FM. It's on broadcast television as an audio channel on channel 722. It's on Radio Player and the BBC iPlayer app, and it's on DAB digital radio. Now, DAB digital radio is where one of the misconceptions comes in. While North America thinks of digital radio as being purely online, Europeans and Australians know it as just another broadcast platform. DAB is almost exactly the same as AM and FM. It's a broadcast radio received on a little box with an antenna. You don't need a mobile phone, you don't need a data plan, you don't need a SIM card. It's just broadcast radio, radio as you know it. So as you can understand, losing the 1485 AM transmitter for BBC Radio Humberside is not quite the seismic shift that the doommongers would want you to get all concerned about. The station is still available on a number of other platforms. Indeed, my strategy for any radio station I've worked with is to get their live station on as many loudspeakers as possible. So while I regularly criticise the TuneIn app, stations should be there, as well as their own national aggregator app and as many other platforms as they can possibly be. I don't think the future for AM is particularly bright, I have to say. It's harder and harder to get AM sets these days. They sound pretty rubbish for music, and in metro areas they're plagued with interference. However, switching off AM is not the end of the world in the UK and many other countries, because listeners have many different ways of tuning in. As long as we regularly remind them of that, the loss of a seldom listened to inferior transmission platform probably isn't going to cause them too many issues. You can get my weekly newsletter at james.cridge.land and daily podcast news at podnews.net. And until next time, keep listening.